Waterloo CSL TV. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 seconds before our next match. It's going to be starting. Damn, it's going to be Endymion versus Endymion. This is going to be a very good match if there's no cannon.
As long as it isn't close positions, I have to say this will be a quite good match. In close positions, it might end up just being some terrible cheese.
Yeah, the maggots.
Yeah, that's actually an Italian cheese.
So, on the top side, we have Endymion of the University of Colorado playing as the Red Zerg. On the right side, we have coLAntimage for the University of Waterloo, who will be playing as the Pink Protoss. Light Pink Protoss, or Pink Protoss.
Or lightish red.
Hey, this is close long distance, making no sense whatsoever. This is a close air distance between Endymion and Endymion. He's setting on an early. Oh no, that is not an early probe. That is standard scouting probe. Going to be scouting clockwise, so he is not going to be able to see Endymion very quickly unless the Overlord is being shown by Endymion, and the probe is going to be seeing this Overlord. So that means Endymion will be able to know. Both of them will be able to know where they are.
Definitely a nice little move that you see all good players do. They'll just go around the back and see if an Overlord's come in to scout. Now, there is a little bit of a metagame thought to that, as the EG player, Machine, actually sends his Overlords close positions instead of close air positions, so that when a Protoss or Terran does, or even Zerg I suppose, does that little check for the Overlord, they will think he is in a position that he is not, just to mess with their head.
I like this move by Endymion. He was going to be putting down a 14 hash with that drone. However, he's seeing that probe there, going to be able to delay that for quite a while. So what he does is he makes a spawning pool instead for a 13 pool. For his build to transition orderly. Personally,
in PBZ, I often like to go with a pool first build myself, as that pylon block is very, very common, almost to the point that you can just assume that it's coming. However, if you go pool first and then you pretend that you're about to expand, then you can sometimes screw with the Protoss, because they're not really setting you back that much, because you went pool first, and so you weren't going to expand anyway, but they have to drop a pylon, and that's 100 minerals. Or you can do what Endymion's doing right now and just adapt and drop your expansion some random other location.
Well, yeah, the second closest location you can really get in, second safest at least. And but Endymion will be able to see this with his probe. Really nice scouting by Endymion, and the hatchery won't be able to see the probe, because when the hatchery is building, you cannot see around the area of the hatchery.
Yep.
All right, so
Endymion, a little bit late, I would say. Actually, his circling speed is going to take quite a while to come into effect in this game, as he doesn't even have anything okay, there we go. Now he's mining gas, so it'll be quite a while before he gets circling speed, which is unfortunately quite critical. And well, Zerg versus anything, pretty much.
You have Endymion here putting down a Roach Warren. If you're looking Anti-Mage's base, he is chrono boosting a Warp Gate research right now. He's feeding off double gas. What do you think of this? You used to be a Protoss player.
He's going for a 3-gate expand, almost certainly. There's a few strange 4-gate varieties that he could be doing, such as a 4-gate Blinkstalker build, but he would have dropped his Twilight Council right now if he was doing that.
So the Roach Warren is done for Endymion, and he's starting the the metabolic boost upgrade for his little Zerglings. That are apparently the most adorable unit in the game, aside from the Baneling.
That was Baneling, yeah.
Baneling, yes.
And just poking up here with his Zerglings, this is actually an extremely important thing to do in PBZ, as those first two units are basically your primary way of telling if you're going to be dealing with a 4-gate or a 3-gate expand. If you see a couple of zealots,
not a 3-gate
stalker.
Yeah, you have a Stargate being made for Anti-Mage, really. Almost half done.
Forget this is Anti-Mage. He's definitely a huge fan of Stargate play ever since the beta. And looks like we're having some lag issues.
But the lag seems to be coming from Endymion, according to Blizzard. Or sorry, not according to Blizzard, according to the game. Alright, so what will come up from that Stargate? And a Void Ray comes out.
Yep, this is definitely classic Anti-Mage, a player known for his Void Ray play. But some great Overlord spreading from Endymion. He's basically got almost all... Yeah, he can see anything that flies towards his base, unless Anti-Mage goes towards the corner of the map and around, or all the way around the other side of the map. So, some very nice Overlord scouting. And
Endymion coming in with a bunch of speedlings right now. Checking that there's an expansion there indeed, but
and he's going to suspect something's up, because this is not really that large of a number of sentries at this point. So he probably realizes that Anti-Mage is doing something funny. We don't like him engaging the Zealot though. Zealots can kill a ton of links.
Oh nice, and Anti-Mage preventing the Zerglings from moving in by putting down a force field.
But that sentry is just raging against the force field for some reason. And
but that warps in though to block the Zerglings from actually moving into the base. So that was a very sketchy situation to be in for Anti-Mage.
Yep, but Anti-Mage also forced to show his Void Ray play before he has a significant number of them. And Endymion, either predicting that or just reacting, throwing down a Hydralisk and a Spire. It's an interesting
that Void Ray will be able to take care of that Queen in the I wouldn't say natural, but the second base of the Zerg player right here.
Yeah, especially if it's currently charged up, it's going to do a lot of damage in addition to that.
Yes, and the second Void Ray joins in with Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage obviously knows that Endymion went for a Roadborn, so his only anti-air are Spore Crawlers and the Queen. The Queen isn't there.
If he had more Queens, that definitely would have been the ideal choice here. As it is, he's producing Hydralisks, but really, if you're going Hydras to a large degree in ZBP, it's often not a great idea, because the Protoss is going to realize that your reaction is going to be Hydras, and they're just going to build a Colossus, and Colossus can basically kill infinite Hydralisks.
Infinite Hydralisks.
Infinite Hydralisks. So if he keeps on producing, like, this is a decent number of Hydras to have. Maybe with the three more he's producing, he should have enough to be okay. And if he produces more, he's going to be in a bit of trouble once Robotech comes out, which Anti-Mage is currently throwing down.
Oh, but Anti-Mage engages the army with his Void Rays.
Hydralisks are so slow off creep. Endymion really needs to get that creep spread going down if he intends to use many Hydras. But getting some more Queens, this is the reaction that I really like against Stargate play. As Queens are extremely, they're much better than people give them credit for, particularly against air. And here we go, a big Zergling attack, and he thinks better of it.
Yep,
running
considering,
out.
I love Anti-Mage's placement of his buildings. He has that little choke area in the middle where Zerglings cannot get us around. So that reduces the potential of the damage that Zerglings can do when surrounded because of larger surface area.
Zerg really needs wide open spaces to engage a Protoss or Terran army. Because if you just come in from one end, you'll basically lose everything.
Yep.
And this, along with force fields, will artificially make an extremely tight place that can make a small Protoss army hold off for an extremely long time against a much larger and more expensive Zerg army.
Alright, so we have Anti-Mage putting down his third Nexus in where you would expect a third would go, on the bottom right side. As for Endymion, he still will be on 3 bases.
Yeah, and he's going to end up very gas-starved soon, as he was getting +1 air. So he's clearly intending to get Corruptors, which is the obvious choice. Oh, Mutalisks. Well, that's kind of weird. He's got to expect that Anti-Mage is probably going to get some sort of Corruptor, or some sort of Colossus. So I don't know why he's going for so many Mutalisks. Anti-Mage deciding he wants to take out Evo Chambers.
Or that Queen. That Queen will go down to two fully charged up Void Rays, which is ridiculous enough.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Evo Chamber will go down.
2 more Queens.
And one does go down.
If these Queens had been here from the start, he could have easily killed off those 2 Void Rays with some good transfuses.
Alright, so on the bottom right side, we have Endymion attempting to take down Anti-Mage's third. Anti-Mage will try to defend this.
This is a nice attack timing from Endymion, as Anti-Mage does not have any Colossus out right. Oh, and he backs off. If he went in there, he could do probably a significant amount of damage.
Oh, and Endymion is trying to sneak in. He sneaks in like 3-4 Zerglings right now.
And some
Mutalisks as well. But he's able to clean up that very sneaky play from Endymion. Endymion doing a very good job just having a lot of map control in general, controlling two Xel'Naga towers and having some Overlords in some pretty decent spots to find out whether and where the Protoss player is expanding.
Yeah, he can pretty much see almost everything occurring on the map, and he's taking a 4th now. I would like to see him move some Overlords back to where he had them earlier in the game, just to spot those Void Rays coming over again. But it's around,
but those nice force fields are able to take care of that. Well, not really take care of anything, but to delay the Hydralisk from moving in.
And those Void Rays almost all down now. I would say this attack time with the Anti-Mage is a little bit too early. I'm not sure I went in with only 1 Colossus. Usually you want to wait until you have 3 or maybe even 4 before you charge in.
Yeah, and Anti-Mage calls GG and loses against Endymion from the University of Colorado. So it is currently 1-1 between Waterloo and Colorado.